You have been banging the drum on climate change, I think, more than a lot of people have. Do you were mentioning that maybe there's this sort of generational shift. Do you feel like it's getting through to older generations? Do you feel like...
Yeah, I think what you're seeing a real change in public opinion. There's two things that are happening. One is, I think the debate over this is the climate warming is gone, basically. I mean, 15 of the hottest years have been the last 19 years. Like, everyone gets it.
Yeah.
There's still this sort of ridiculous thing about, like, well, are humans causing it? That's also receding to the background. The big question now becomes one of prioritization. I mean, there's lots of things happening in the world. There are lots of things happening in this country. There's a lot of challenges and issues we face. And one of the key questions is, do we understand this as the priority? Is this something that we sort of structure and orient American policy around? That was the case in the New Deal and meeting the challenge of the Great Depression. It was the case in World War II. It was the case for multiple decades for the Cold War. I mean, from administration to administration, the U.S. government, both domestically and internationally, oriented itself around a singular challenge, which it saw as defeating communism. The question for us now is, do we orient all of American social policy, economic policy towards this challenge or not?
I'm very happy when you take time to talk about things like this. Obviously, there was, with the release of the Barr memo about the Mueller report, and again, we're still waiting for the report, but there was this criticism that came from a lot of different angles that maybe the media had focused too much on what the Mueller report was going to be and what it was going to do. How do you, looking back at the last 2 years, have you reflected back on how you covered it at all?
I think we all have. I mean, the biggest thing to me is a criminal and counterintelligence investigation of the President of the United States and his campaign is big news in any universe at any time.
Right.
One that ends up leading to his campaign manager going to jail and his personal lawyer and fixer pleading guilty to crimes is an enormous deal as well. And the big thing that has driven this from the beginning, and my feeling about the Mueller report and from the beginning, is there are many unanswered factual questions about what happened that we need to know the answer to. And the coverage was a way of trying to get to the bottom of it, which we are still not at the bottom of. And I think that's entirely justified through any journalistic lens.
I want to show one last photo because you've obviously been in politics for a long time. This is 04? Is this?
That's 04, yeah.
04, and you were an organizer?
I was like a canvasser field organizer for an environmental group that was knocking on doors in support of John Kerry.
There we go. Look at that. When you walked up, they were like, look at this bespectacled guy. This bespectacled guy's going to talk to me about the environment. I know it.
He's deeply, deeply concerned.
Yeah, they were like, this guy's not with the NRA. What did you find knocking on doors?
You know, I love that experience. I would knock on doors. I get other people to knock on doors. And I think one of the great things about it is when we talk about politics from 30,000 feet up, or we have a TV show, you have to sort of simplify, put people in categories. People are so weird.
Yeah.
Actual individual voters are just irreducibly strange. And the strangeness of both people and their political views gets sort of smoothed out when you talk about categories. You know, like, oh, this demographic's going for this person. But when you actually talk to people, people have all sorts of amazing combinations of sensible ideas combined with totally crazy ideas right next to each other. And you sort of remember just how much of a human enterprise democracy is.
It must be nice. I mean, it is. I mean, it's terrifying
nice.
because
it's both terrifying
you
and
know
inspiring.
humans. Yeah, we all know a few humans where you'd be like, oh, I'd rather not you. But I always appreciate you having here. Congrats on 6 years.
It's great to be here.
Always
Thanks.
a pleasure.
Thanks a lot.